What's up, fuckers, and welcome back to another rebuild here on NBA 2K23 Next Gen. And in today's video, we are going to be rebuilding probably the most overpowered team in 2K. That being the New Orleans Pelicans, who are obviously led by Zion Williamson, CJ McCollum, and Brandon Ingram. A very good big three, and I think this team is poised to be in the playoffs this year. So what seed they are in the playoffs really depends on a lot of factors. They were an 8 seed last year. They didn't have Zion Williamson. They did deal with some injuries. If everything goes well, there's not a ton of injuries. Zion is playing at 100%. I can see this team all the way up to a 4 or a 5 seed. So there's really going to be a lot of depending factors with this team. Here in 2K today, I would be surprised if at any point during any season we were anything lower than a 2 seed. And that's really just based off how much 2K really loves Zion. But we're going to get into all that in just a second, go over this roster. I'll give you guys my thoughts, and we'll make a couple trades. But before we do, of course, you guys are new to the channel, man. Hit that like button. Hit that subscribe button, ring the bell for notifications. We'd love to have you join the community. Of course, I do want to hear from you guys. We're probably going to be doing some more era rebuilds this weekend, so let me know which ones you guys want to see down below in the comments section. And yeah, man, the Pelicans are pretty overpowered in 2K22. I'm assuming they're probably very similar in 2K23. Let's hop into it. We're going to quickly go over this roster and then potentially make a trade or two before we do start sim in year one. One of the really good things besides the core of this Pelicans team is that we have a lot of Lakers draft picks back from the Anthony Davis trade, and typically those picks ends up being pretty high. So we got a lot to work with, and I'm really excited about this one. We got CJ McCollum, obviously came over in a trade from the Portland Trailblazers. Trailblazers, obviously, I'm not saying they're going into rebuild mode because Dame's obviously still there. They ended up moving on from CJ. He's here in New Orleans now. Nice fit, going to be our starting point guard. Jose Alvarado kind of broke out a little bit last season. You know, he's not a bad backup point guard option, only at the age of 24 on a pretty cheap contract. Devontae Graham, I believe this contract's really not working out too well for them. He came over from the Hornets, I think, a couple years ago on free agency now. Kier Lewis Jr. as well. So there is definitely some point guard depth here. I obviously do not need 4 point guards. I need 2 pretty much at the most at any certain time. We'll figure out what we want to do and how this is going to look once we get into some trades. We got Brandon Ingram. They're playing him at the 2 here, which is an interesting move. You know, I think he probably is more of a 3, but we can probably make it work. I mean, you can pretty much make anything work in today's NBA. It's pretty much positionless. Dyson Daniels, their rookie, who they drafted number 8 overall with that Los Angeles Lakers pick. And I'm pretty high on him. I'm not going to lie to you guys. He ends up being really good in this game. I think he's going to be pretty solid in real life as well. I think he could be a key piece for them moving up this season as well. We got Herbert Jones, Trey Murphy, and Najee Marshall. 3 options at the small forward spot, all relatively young. Hopefully one of these guys can kind of progress pretty much maybe into the full-time starter. I would definitely have probably the most faith here in Herbert Jones. But again, we will see, and we will eventually cross that road once the time does come. Zion Williamson signed a big, fat extension this offseason. You know, there's obviously some concern with that, and that being the amount of games he has played. But Zion is an all-star, and he's an absolute stud. He's a generational prospect. Let's not sit here and pretend when Zion's not healthy he's not probably a top 20, 25 player in the league, because he most definitely is, and I think a lot of us can probably agree with that. But health's obviously a big concern in real life here in 2K. We don't play with injuries on. He'll be probably an all-star, if not maybe an MVP. Larry Nance Jr. and then Jackson Hayes. I'm actually really enticed to play Jackson Hayes at the backup center spot. Let Larry Nance Jr. run the backup 4. Our starting center is Jonas Valanciunas on a 2-year deal. A little bit on the older side at this point. This is definitely probably a position I'd like to maybe upgrade at some point in time, but as of now, Valanciunas is more than good enough to be our starting center, and then Billy Hernangomez here as well. I kind of do want to start Jackson Hayes. I like that potential at 22 years old, a little bit more than Hernangomez at a 74 and 28 years old. So we're going to go ahead and make a couple trades before year one, and then let's just get into them. We're going to be acquiring a first-round draft pick from the Atlanta Hawks. It's top 10 protected in 2025 for Billy Hernangomez. He was just not going to play here. I just kind of went over that. I don't really think, it's not a shot against him. He's a guy I actually signed quite frequently. It's just, I think I can probably get a better backup option with Jackson Hayes. That's the route we're going to go. We have a couple more trades. This is going to be our final trade before we do start sim year one. Najee Marshall and a second going over to the Heat for a first in 2027 and Haywood Highsmith. I have no idea who that is. First round pick's a first round pick. It's an asset I can throw in for a big trade at some point in time. Najee Marshall just wasn't going to play for me. So that is all set now. Let's set the rotation before what I'm hoping is going to be a very good year one. The rotation is all set here at the start of the first season. I am hoping that this is a very good first season for us. I think this team definitely has the talent to make it happen, and obviously the Zion effect is real. So let's see how it goes. It's CJ McCollum, Brandon Ingram in our backcourt. It's an interesting backcourt. I didn't necessarily believe that Brandon Ingram's going to play the 2. I don't know if he'll play the 2 for this team once the NBA actually starts up, but we will see. They're our backcourt for now. Herbert Jones starting at that small forward spot, followed by the man, the myth, the legend, Zion Williamson, former #1 overall pick, and then Jonas Valanciunas at our center spot. It's a pretty good starting five. Bench unit: Jose Alvarado, Jackson Hayes, Larry Nance Jr., Dyson Daniels, and Trey Murphy. Let me explain this bench to you a little bit. I moved Jackson Hayes to the backup center spot. I think there's a route that we could maybe take that eventually gets him into that starting spot. I'm very big on Jackson Hayes. I love explosive centers that are just extremely athletic. I really am. And then I'm playing Dyson Daniel 12 minutes a night more than a guy like Trey Murphy because I've seen how well Dyson Daniels can actually progress in this game. I want to kind of reach that full potential. So that's the route we're going here in year one. I believe no matter which route we went, it was going to be a good first season just because, you know, they're the Pelicans. So I'll see you guys at the end of the first season here in New Orleans. Year one ended with us going 51-31, which I'm assuming was probably good enough for a top 2 or 3 seed here in the West. Luka won an MVP with a 39-point triple-double. So yeah, he's one of definitely those big 3 of the 2K hype beasts. I actually almost might call it a big 4 at this point because I think Darius Garland might eventually fit that threshold. Jabari Smith Jr., Rookie of the Year. Ben Simmons, 6th man. Giannis Depoy. Nashawn Highland, Most Improved. Nate McMillan, Coach of the Year. So let's see. Are we? Yes, we are a 2 seed here in the West. Really no surprise there. Wow, Lakers 48 wins. I'm surprised. Typically they suck. Of course, when I'm rebuilding the Pelicans and I have their draft pick, of course they're good. It makes sense. Let's take a look at the numbers, see how it was done. Led in scoring by Brandon Ingram and Zion Williamson. Kind of our 2-headed scoring, well, 3-headed scoring monster. I got to give CJ some credit. Jonas Valanciunas, Jackson Hayes, Dyson Daniels, Alvarado, Herbert Jones, Larry Nance Jr., Trey Murphy. Yeah, I'm going to figure out what you saw Devontae Graham there at the bottom of the screen. I'm going to figure out what I'm going to do with him because he will not be on this team next season. We got the Portland Trailblazers here in round 1. Dame Dalla going up against his old teammate in CJ McCollum. They got Gary Payton II, who came over from the Warriors in free agency, Josh Hart, Jeremy Grant, Yusuf Nurkic, Anthony Simons. I feel like you really got to find a way to kind of get him into that starting 5, but nonetheless, let's see if we can get by the Trailblazers here in round 1, and we do it pretty easily in a sweep. And here come the Lakers. Wow. Okay, well, I'm not going to state the obvious here, but, like, really? What's his contract? Yeah, you know, I don't even think he's going to be getting that at, like, Guantanamo Bay, but, like, that's pretty cheap right there. I just think, like, I'm not saying he should be removed from the game because, like, I feel like some team and some organization, I'm not predicting which one, will just sign him eventually just because they're like, fuck it, why not? But, like, come on. Like, for now, like, just make him, like, a super low overall or something. I hate it. John Morant, Desmond Bane, Dylan Brooks, Jaren Jackson Jr., Steven Adams. I think the Pelicans and the Grizzlies eventually are going to be a really good kind of matchup here in the Western Conference. I don't know if they'll necessarily be the 1 and the 2 seed every year, but a good rivalry nonetheless, and I think it eventually will happen. So let's see if we can get by them here in the Western Conference Finals. And yeah, the 2K effect is real. We just swept a team that, in my opinion, is probably better than us. Zion wins the Western Conference Finals MVP, and Trae Young wins the Eastern Conference Finals MVP. And this Hawks team is good as well. This is an insane backcourt with Trae and DeJounte. Obviously got DeAndre Hunter. Really talented front court as well with Collins and Capella. Pretty good bench. Pretty good bench. So let's see if we can get a championship here in year 1. Because obviously if we do, you know the goal. It means three-peat immediately. We're up 3-1. 3-2. Wow. Are we about to blow a 3-1 lead? I'm not going to hop in year 1. And we blow a 3-1 lead. We blow a 3-1 lead in the NBA Finals. Not the way I wanted to start. Not the way I wanted to start. Do I think this team was necessarily a championship contender? Well, no, based off the roster. Yes, based off the Pelicans and Zion. But, like, I don't know. To blow, like, a 3-1 lead in the finals, that's that's pretty tough. Let's sim the draft lottery. The Lakers did not suck, so we're not going to have a high draft pick. Knicks end up with the #1 overall pick. Maybe they finally got their generational player with Victor Wembanyama. Staff signing, I think Willie Green's a pretty good head coach. I think those ratings are a little bit disrespectful, but we're definitely going to give him another go. You know, those obviously aren't the best ratings, but we'll make do with what we got in terms of ratings for a head coach. So, do we have any draft picks? We do. We have the 22nd overall pick via the Los Angeles Lakers. We also have their unprotected first-round pick next year. Hopefully they suck a little bit. Obviously, I think them adding Miles Bridges, who, I mean, let's not sit here and lie. I mean, he's a talented player. He's just a scumbag. Like, I don't know, man. All right, so what I'm going to do with this pick, if I'm thinking of, like, straight-up positional need, I think maybe a new backup power forward is an option. I think maybe somebody like Larry Nance Jr. we can move on from. Not really on the older side at 30, but maybe older comparison to this team. I mean, we can say the same thing about CJ and Valanciunas, but they're kind of two of our star players. So I'm maybe thinking we go ahead and get a new backup power forward. Somebody doesn't need to be that good backing up Zion Williamson. They'll probably play 34, 35, 36 minutes a night. So I'll sit right here at 22. We'll see the options. If a good power forward falls into our lap, we'll obviously take him. I see Dylan Mitchell here. The first power forward on the board is Chris Murray out of Iowa. Now, I don't necessarily think I maybe want to go that route, but there's some guys here that are definitely talented. They definitely are. So I don't need a shooting guard. So I think Matthew Cleveland's maybe off the board. Alzer Thompson, 6'7". Dylan Mitchell's 6'7". Yeah, we got some options. I mean, maybe I just take position of need and I draft Chris Murray. You know, I'm really thinking that might be my route right now. I mean, we're kind of set at the small forward spot. So Chris Murray, welcome to the New Orleans Pelicans. Not a guy I've ever drafted before. Not a guy I really know. Wow, the Knicks screwed it up. And then the Rockets screwed it up. And then you gave the Timberwolves, who already have 2 centers in their front court, Victor Wembanyama. Cool. Chris Murray's going to be a 73 overall. That's fine by me. I'm probably still going to have him in the rotation. Maybe he'll just be the 10th and final spot, just backing up Zion. We're going to bring all these guys back. Probably not Haywood Highsmith. I really don't feel like I kind of need him. So, qualifying offers. Jackson Hayes, I'd like to give him one. I think he's definitely going to be potentially on the road, as I mentioned earlier, to be our starting center at some point in time. I mean, that's not definite. Just, I think there's right now, Jonas Valanciunas is definitely still better, but we'll figure it out. Let's make some trades. I want to try to get DeJounte Murray here from the Atlanta Hawks. I think he provides a lot of defense in our backcourt, and I think that's something we maybe could use. Obviously, with this move, I would move Brandon Ingram to the starting small forward spot, and this is potentially the base of the package that I'm offering them. Devontae Graham, Trey Murphy, and Kier Lewis Jr. Now, there's no chance they accept that. They want Whoa, okay. Now, hold on a minute. I don't think this is necessarily a bad thing. I mean, we look at stats. Obviously, maybe Valanciunas puts up, actually, probably not even more points per game. Why do you want to do this? Honestly, I'm going to do it. I don't really know why this is an option. We don't even have to give up a single draft pick. Welcome to the team, DeJounte Murray and Clint Capella. I'm 100% fine with that trade. It means I'm just going to move Brandon Ingram to that starting small forward spot. I'm 100% fine with that. I'll see you guys with our next move. We are re-signing Jackson Hayes to a 3-year, $35.5 million contract. He's going to be our new backup center. Now, I know I mentioned I think there was a road potentially for him to maybe be our starting center at one point in time, but you know, when the Atlanta Hawks just kind of handed me Clint Capella for Jonas Valanciunas, which I thought is kind of a weirdish trade, I don't really know what the route is there, but you know what? They wanted to do it. I'm really fine with that deal. We added DeJounte Murray as well. I'm super excited to see how this team works. I'll see you guys at the start of year 2. We have a really good team here in New Orleans. This is how it's going to look for year 2. We made some upgrades and we made some trades, and I'm still really confused on the Hawks trade. Would you prefer, I mean, obviously it's team dependent, but would you prefer Jonas Valanciunas over Clint Capella? I don't know why. I think I'd probably go Clint Capella. I don't know why the Hawks wanted to do it, but they did. CJ regressed a little. Excuse me. CJ regressed a little bit, which is a little bit unfortunate. He's down on 83 overall. You know, it's going to happen with age. I kind of get it a little bit. This isn't an egregious regression like it would have been in 2K22, so I can live with it. DeJounte Murray, now in this backcourt. Really surprised that we were able to get him as easily as we were, but he's here, and I'm happy. He's a free agent at the end of this season. Brandon Ingram, Zion Williamson, and Clint Capella rounds out the starting 5. Bench unit, Herbert Jones, kind of taking that next step. Maybe there's a world where I maybe could have got him into this starting 5, or just eventually if I didn't make that trade. You know, obviously, well, he wasn't there last year, but you know what I'm saying. I feel like even if I just made this trade or a smaller trade, I could have kept him starting even with Ingram and maybe Murray, but whatever. We're fine with that. Jackson Hayes, Dyson Daniels, Jose Alvarado, and then Chris Murray, who we drafted 22nd overall. I'm excited to see what this team can do. I'll see you guys at the end of the second season. Hopefully, we're top of the West. Just because of how overpowered I know this team is, I paid attention to our record, and we went 71-11, which is most likely 99% the best record in the league and the 1 seed in the West. Luka's second straight MVP, a little bit disappointing, only a 37-point triple-double this time. Scoot Henderson, Rookie of the Year. Maybe I was wrong. Maybe Victor Wembanyama was not the best overall player. I think he is. It was probably just because he was coming off the bench behind Gobert or Towns in Minnesota. Malcolm Brogdon, Sixth Man of the Year, the Boston Celtics. I think a definite possibility this year in real life. Evan Mobley, Defensive Player of the Year. That's cool. You don't see that one too often. Darius Garland, Most Improved. Willie Green at 71-11. Yeah, that's pretty much an obvious one right there. Let's take a look at the standings. We were 24 games up on the 2-seeded 47-win Dallas Mavericks. 47 wins takes a 2-seed. I mean, I guess we just had a complete reign over the West, and kind of makes sense when you think about it. Numbers on the year. Zion led us in points, followed by Ingram, McCollum, DeJounte Murray, all over 18 points a game. That's awesome. Clint Capella, 9 and 12. Beautiful. Jackson Hayes, Dyson Daniels, Herbert Jones, Chris Murray, Jose Alvarado. Do we have anybody else? No, Ben McLemore. Rebounds per game, led by Capella, and assists was DeJounte. So, first round here, Houston Rockets. Very young, very up-and-coming team. They've added D'Angelo Russell and Anthony Black to the already pretty talented young core here. Let's see what happens. I think we're... You don't win 71 games and then choke in the first round of the playoffs. Come on. We already choked last year in the finals. I don't want to do this again. Warriors, Steph Curry, Jordan Poole, Moses Moody, Jonathan Kuminga, and Kevon Looney. I don't think I'm crazy saying they're only better than us at one starting position, and that would obviously be the point guard spot with Steph. So I think we probably should have pretty easy run. Okay, they're battling back a little bit. We're up 3-2, and we win in 6 Western Conference Finals here against a very good... How is Bradley Beal here? I guess they traded Paul George for Bradley Beal. I don't really know why, but they did it. And we win game 1, win game 2. I mean, that's an interesting move. You don't really see that one too much. We're up 3-1, and we are officially in the NBA Finals. DeJounte Murray, Western Conference Finals MVP. And we got a rematch here with the... We faced the Cavs last year, right? I think we faced the Cavs. No, we didn't. Who did we face last year? No, this is going to piss me. Oh, did we faced the Hawks last year. We faced the Hawks. All right, Cavs. Darlin Mitchell, Bojan Bogdanovic, Evan Mobley, Defensive Player of the Year, Jarrett Allen, Kevin Love, Isaac Okoro, Jalen Noel. All right, let's see if we can get by him. I mean, this is an extremely talented young team as well. So I'm a little bit... Really? Are we just like a regular season team? We might be. I mean, we might. I don't really know. I'm not going to lie to you guys. I think it may be time for a new head coach. I hate to say it, but it just might be. We're currently projected that 8th overall pick via the Lakers. It's not protected. It's completely unprotected. And it... oh, wow. It hopped all the way up to number... Wait, no. We have it... Oh, it's right there. I'm looking at the Thunder. We have the 4th overall pick. I'm like, why is it via the Washington Wizards? I'm blind. I'm going to move on from Willie Green. I don't necessarily think he's the problem, but I don't know. I think there's probably a way to get a better head coach with better ratings right now. So let's look at our options here. See who has some good offensive and defensive ratings. I have no idea who Alvin Leonard is, but has some pretty good ratings. I'm not going to lie to you guys. Steve Nash. Like those, that's a little high on the ratings for Steve Nash there. Ooh, Mark Dagnall. I'm actually a pretty big fan of Mark Dagnall. Andre Toscano actually has some pretty decent ratings. So there's some options here. Well, yeah. I mean, oh wow, Stafford doesn't even want to come here. All right, we'll get somebody else. Let's look at some of the other options. I think Alvin Leonard's definitely in the mix. I think Yvette Hilliard. You have some pretty good ratings. You want to come be our head coach? Yvette Hilliard, welcome to the team. Oh, I didn't even know. There's a woman. All right, we're breaking boundaries here. Welcome to the New Orleans Pelicans. You have some damn good ratings, and you are going to hopefully be the first female head coach to win a championship. Actually, first female head coach in NBA history, but you get the point. All right, let's take a look at this roster. We obviously have some free agents, notably DeJounte Murray and CJ McCollum. So our backcourt. We also have the 4th overall pick. We have 18 from the Bucks and 29 of our own. I don't really know what I'm going to do here. I think I might make 1 or 2 trades, but I think if maybe I'm going to make a trade, it's obviously probably between Capella or McCollum. McCollum being a free agent now. Maybe it's Capella. We're going to see what we can find. If not, I'll see you guys in the draft. The Utah Jazz own the number 2 overall draft pick. My plan with this right now is to draft just the highest prospect available at number 2, and then he'll probably be in a trade. And the reason I'm saying that is because I did not find any trade that I really liked, including Capella and these draft picks. So let's see if we can get number 2 overall. They don't want to do that. I have a lot of picks. I'll just give you whatever you need to get that number 2 overall pick. So we have it here. I'm not going to lie, I don't really know this draft class too much. Who went number 1? It was Ron Holland, who's a 79 overall. I think Xavier Booker or Justin Edwards is probably the clear pick here. I don't really know which one is better, but I just heard good things about Xavier Booker and seen him progress. So we'll take him. Welcome to New Orleans. You probably are not going to be here for long, unfortunately. But he is an 80 overall, which is cool. Dyson Daniels, Jose Alvarado, definitely both coming back. Qualifying offers, Herbert Jones. Definitely going to receive that. As it is the final season, it will just be a qualifying offer from me. More importantly, we got to get these 2 back. I'm going to give a full max contract to DeJounte. I'm going to give a big contract here to CJ McCollum as well. I'll give him about $25 million a year. I'm not saying I'm 100% going to be trading CJ McCollum, but he's potentially one of the odd men out. I mean, it's either him or Capella, and it doesn't necessarily have to happen. I just think we're in a spot right now where, we've obviously been in 2 straight finals, and neither of which went our way. So something's got to change. Also, do we not have bird rights on Herbert Jones? Was he like a 2nd round pick or something? Because that's a little weird. Was he a second round pick? Yeah, he was. All right, that makes a little more sense. But he is restricted, so if the game's going to let me match anything, he'll probably end up accepting his qualifying offer. But as of now, we're going to make a trade. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander will be the 5th player that I have tried to trade for. If I'm being honest with you guys, I've tried to trade for, let's just go over the list so far. I've tried to trade for Devin Booker. Nope. I've tried to trade for LaMelo Ball. Nope. I've tried to trade for John Morant. Nope. I've tried to trade for Darius Garland. Nope. None of them were happening. I'd like to get Shai Gilgeous-Alexander here. I'm giving up an insane offer. I'd probably be willing to give up 4 draft picks. No, 4 draft picks here. I mean, we all know Sam Presti loves his draft picks and his prospects here, and that's what I'm kind of giving them. And I really want this to. Oh my God, this is just seriously just not happening today, huh? You want Alvarado? Oh my God, holy hell! Actually, I don't think I tried to trade for Ja. Who else did I try to trade for? It was somebody else. It was Trae Young, not John Morant. Excuse me. Yeah, it was these 4 in a row right here. I tried to trade for all of them. It was not happening, so I trade for Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. It was an absolutely insane attempt, and I honestly, I thought, what a run that was. But now there's absolutely no way that this team should not be winning. I think that's ultimately really clear. We do need a new backup point guard. All these options really kind of suck. I'm going to sign Bojan Bogdanovic, and I'm going to trade him for a different backup point guard. We're going to obviously bring back Herbert Jones on whatever offer he gets, whether it's him accepting his qualifying or it is him getting an actual offer. But final season here, I'm absolutely mortgaging the future, and I need a point guard. So somebody, point guard, please. And of course, I have not gotten offered legitimately one point guard that should be in a rotation anywhere. Awesome. Let's go look at point guards. Sorry, this video is probably taking forever. Point guards, making a max of like $6.75 million. This is probably a very limited list. $6.5 million. Let's just see the options here. Like Davion Mitchell. Who's the first guy beside Nishan? I've traded for Nishan Highland before. I don't want Ricky Rubio, though. So it's either Davion Mitchell, who's... no, that's not happening. Son of a bitch. All right, let's just trade for Nishan Highland. Can we just get this out of the way and get this over with? It's such a small thing. I only have 3 firsts left. You can have all of them. Seriously, take them all. They want another first. They're going to be Peyton Watson. Fine by me. All right, what position is Peyton Watson? He's actually a small forward, but I just don't need him. We are going to wait here on Herbert Jones, or I will. I'll see you guys in the rotation at the start of year 3. If this team cannot get over the hump and win a championship, I just don't think 2K is liking me today. I mean, there's really no explanation other than that at this point. But what an insanely talented team. This is definitely my best team so far in 2K23. And here's how it looks for the 3rd and final season. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, DeJounte Murray, Brandon Ingram, Zion Williamson, and Clint Capella. The bench unit, Herbert Jones, Dyson Daniels, Nishan Highland, Jackson Hayes, and, not Peyton Watson. I meant to give these minutes to Chris Murray. My mistake. I will see you guys at the end of the 3rd and final season. I'm kind of pissed I missed our record here for the final season. I just couldn't, stop looking at my phone, if we're being honest. Darius Garland, MVP. Kind of dethrones King Luka, if you will. Impressive. Mackenzie Mbako, I hope I'm pronouncing that right, in those absolute dog shit Utah Jazz jerseys. Wins Rookie of the Year, Jaden Ivey. 6th Man of the Year, Giannis Antetokounmpo. Defensive Player of the Year, Josh Giddey, Most Improved. Oh, we went 75-7 with Yvette Hilliard. I hope I'm pronouncing that right, but congratulations. I think I'm pronouncing that right. Coach of the Year, very well deserved. All right, let's take a look at these standings. We were 19 games up on the Houston Rockets. Cavs go 62-20. They obviously beat us in the finals last season. I'm on the road. I'm on a tear right now. I want a championship. I mean, there's just absolutely no reason why we shouldn't be winning one. We got Memphis here in round 1. Now, this is an extremely talented team. Wow, Klay Thompson, interesting fit. We're beating them. There's just no shot we're not. Sweep. Denver Nuggets here in round 2. Also really talented. Only better than us at the center spot. Also should be a sweep. It is. Houston Rockets here. Added Lonzo Ball. Okay, interesting. They just have D'Angelo Russell coming off the bench right now. Not that this team scares me, but we will go game by game as they do pick up a game there. We're up 3-1. And we are in the NBA Finals taking on Kevin Durant, who's got to be, like 40 at this point? No, he's like 38. 36 only. Wow. Markelle Fultz, Cason Wallace, Jay Crowder. Wow, okay, interesting. They still have Ben Simmons coming off the bench. They're doing my boy dirty. Really good bench right there, though. But, I mean, this is honestly, we're going to win a championship. But, I'm a little bit disappointed we almost didn't win more. This team 100% had the talent, and we were in the finals. It's just couldn't get it done. But we made an insanely talented team, and this was definitely far and away my most talented team in 2K23 yet. And I had a ton of fun with this one. So if you guys enjoyed, leave a like down below. It would be greatly appreciated. Of course, if you guys are new around here, have not yet hit that sub button, we'd love to have you join the community. And of course, comment any other video ideas down below. Let me know what you guys want to see in any which way, shape, and form. As always, thank you guys so much for watching. Hope you guys all have a great weekend. I love you guys. Catch you guys all in the next one.